So let's talk about exercise testing for kids. We've got two different issues. Do we need any clinical testing for children who have disabilities, who have heart disease, congenital heart disease, maybe some lung problems, versus general fitness testing in youth? So with the clinical testing, yes, they're going to have electrocardiograms, especially to check for arrhythmias. Anytime they've had any type of heart surgery, there is an increased risk that they are going to have arrhythmias as a result of the heart being cut into. So that is a very real possibility. They also may have a lower blood pressure response, again, because of nerves being cut, to the heart. And then kids who have lung disease may also have additional pulmonary function tests that are done with exercise. So they're going to, exercise, have them use the inhaler, and then test them again. Most kids, fitness testing, a lot of this depends on their body size and what type of equipment that you have available to you. Treadmill protocols, most kids do pretty well with walking on the treadmill. You can use some of the submax protocols that you've learned in your labs as far as doing any testing on the treadmill. 1 mile walk or 1 mile run on the track. So the track is a great place to do fitness testing. That's still fairly common to do, time them for walk run. The pacer test, the AFER test, the fitness gram. So that is the one where they do like a shuttle. So they run between two lines on the gym floor that are 20 meters apart, so about 60 feet. And they have to increasingly go between those two lines at a faster and faster pace. And kids tend to like that because it's more of a game and way less boring than doing the 1 mile walk or run on the track. Monarch cycles are great for kids. The only thing is if they're small, say if they're younger than 10 years old, they're often just too short to fit on something like the Monarch bike. Their legs are just too short. Also on some of the cardio equipment we had up at the track, some of the semi-recumbent bikes that we have upstairs, some of these kids are just too short to actually reach the pedals on them. Other assessments, fitness gram is great, especially if you talk to some of the students who are in the PE classes. They have crunch and push-up norms. How many kids can do that? We found that with our overweight kids, testing them on these is almost futile because they can't do any push-ups. So testing them and seeing if they can actually improve and do a couple push-ups with good form. There are some very good flexibility programs, testing the standard sit and reach test for hamstring flexibility, the shoulder touch, put your opposite arm behind your back, see how much you can touch and how much distance is between the fingers. The trunk hyperextension Supermans, how much they can come off the mat, so you measure from the mat to their chin. Waist circumference measurements, just like with adults. There are some norms, and I'll have to look for that and post the norms for that. You can also do some skin folds. They're typically skin folds done on children involve the triceps and the calf, because if they're in a PE class or some sort of fitness testing arena, that's usually what you have access to. They have on shorts and a t-shirt, and we're not going to be removing clothing or having kids lift up their t-shirts in order for us to do a more detailed skin fold analysis on them. So, exercise prescription for kids. Let's move on to this. The recommendations for children, they should be active 60 minutes per day. Yes, that's every day. So a variety of activities should be encouraged. As we found out with, some of the kids that come here, we found that doing multiple things in the course of an hour work pretty well, unless we're in the pool. They love to stay in the pool. So we would do things, say, like we would start off on the cardio equipment, then maybe we'd go to the weight room, and then we'd play basketball or volleyball, toss the balls around. So maybe 20, 30 minutes, 2-3 things in an hour. So, physical activity in girls drops off a lot around the 6th grade, because if you're not athletic, there are fewer sports participation opportunities, few activity. So only the girls who are the most athletic usually participate in any type of, middle school, high school, travel team type of sports. Daily PE is almost non-existent in the schools, which, many people are working to improve physical activity, improve recess, instant recess. There's a big movement for instant recess. Let's just get up and be active. And of course, kids with disabilities, they tend to be even less active than other kids who are not disabled. And as we know, resistance training, you definitely work with exercise recommendations and the parameters for resistance training.